What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the Pro Football Show. I'm your host, Juice, and today we're going to be talking about the release of Dalvin Cook from the Minnesota Vikings. For me, this is for a team that needs a running back. This is going to be huge for somebody this year, I believe. I think this is going to change someone's trajectory for this season if he lands on the right team. I think Dalvin Cook's a powerhouse. The dude can still hit home runs. He can go deep. I just don't understand why the Vikings released him. Your offense is good, really good with Justin Jefferson. You signed Addison or drafted Addison this offseason, and I just don't get the release of Dalvin Cook. I mean, dude still got it. 27, yeah. I mean, I understand the NFL doesn't value running backs anymore, but it's ridiculous in my opinion. I think that this guy is still good, a great top 5 running back in the NFL, and I think that he can help a team really go deep into the playoffs for any team that needs a running back. So we're going to be getting into where some of the top landing destinations for him. And so let's just get into it. So one of my top destinations for Dalvin Cook would be the Miami Dolphins. I think that scheme down there fits him perfectly with Mike McDaniels. His run schemes are incredible. I mean, you saw what his work at San Francisco and what he was able to do. That offense is explosive, and I think Dalvin Cook would add another factor to that already potent offense. So if he ends up in Miami, I'd watch out. I think they're going to win the division if he's down there, and it's all dependent on if Tua stays healthy. Obviously, we know that's a big factor down there as well, but I think Dalvin Cook would fit in perfectly down there. You got Tyreek Hill. I mean, Jalen Waddle. I mean, the weapons are endless down there. So can't load the box to stop Dalvin Cook. He would be able to just eat all day, I feel like, in that offense. So the next team I think would be a great fit for Dalvin Cook would be the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills I know his brother's there, and he doesn't really want to step on his toes, supposedly is the rumor, but if the Buffalo Bills want to go deep into this playoffs, they need a running game. They haven't had a running game, I don't think, since Josh Allen's been there. I mean, the turnovers are there because Josh Allen's forced to throw the ball constantly, and I think it would help elevate that team to another level. I think he fits in perfectly there. They need a good, strong, every down back. I think he can provide that, which he doesn't even have to. I think he can be a running back in there in that room, help his brother, and then have the dynamic duo of the Cook brothers in the backfield would be pretty sweet to watch, in my opinion. Because the Buffalo Bills pretty much returned to everybody, so they need to add a piece that can help them get over the hump. They've been stuck in that hump for 2 to 3 years now, and I think that Dalvin Cook would really be able to elevate that offense and take them to the next level and a contender to beat the Chiefs, which is the ultimate goal in that division or in the AFC conference. So I think that the Buffalo Bills is a perfect fit for him. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. They got that Dalton Kincaid in the draft, which many consider to be the best tight end in the draft, which I think he's going to be a weapon. So it just adds another dynamic to that offense, which I think they need. But yeah, like I said, him and his brother in the backfield would be pretty sweet to watch. I ain't going to lie. We just had the Kelsey Bowl, so how cool would it be to see the Cook brothers playing together? I think it would be pretty sweet. This next team is a team that I do not want to see Dalvin Cook go to. As a Philadelphia Eagles fan, don't want to see it, don't like it. But with my unbiased opinion, I think that the Dallas Cowboys would also be a huge fit for Dalvin Cook. That offense is already good. I think the addition of Brandon Cooks this offseason was huge for CeeDee Lamb. Kind of takes a little pressure off him. And Brandon Cooks constantly consistent wide receiver who gets the job done, So I think you add Dalvin Cook to that backfield, it's going to help Dallas potentially. They could still win the division even without him. I think it's going to be close between them and the Eagles. This division's deep and it's good. So I think any weapons added is a bonus for any of these teams, but I just think that he's a good fit for the Dallas Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb and all those guys out there. I think that offense will really help take that offense to another level. With Mike McCarthy taking over play calling, we'll probably see a lot more running, forcing to see Zeke or Dak constantly throw the ball. Like I said with Josh Allen, it'll help turnovers with him. I think it'll also help Dak with his turnovers as well, but not as much as Josh Allen because, I mean, Dak has Tony Pollard in the backfield, but once we saw him go out of that, once we saw Tony Pollard go down in the playoff game against the 49ers, that was a completely different game. It kind of switched the game around. So, I mean, any added help is always a benefit, and I think that this is a good fit for the Cowboys and for Dalvin Cook. But let's all hope that doesn't happen. My next team I think would be a good fit for Dalvin Cook would be the New York Jets. I mean, the AFC East is featured heavily in this segment. I mean, but they have weapons all over the place in all those teams, and you need an advantage in every way you can get. And I think Dalvin Cook adds that to every one of these teams to help them catapult the other team. I think all three of these teams make it to the playoffs this year. This is one of the toughest, if not the toughest division. So if you're the New York Jets, you can't let Dalvin Cook end up on one of these other teams. You could use some another player in the backfield with Breece Hall coming back from injury. He kind of gives you that explosiveness in their offense as well. They got Garrett Wilson, Lazard, all those boys out there. So I think that this would help the Jets. And like I said, even if it's to keep them away from the Bills and the Dolphins, I would still go after him because, you know, he's going to catapult one of these teams if he does choose to go to the AFC East to Super Bowl contender, and I think it gets them home field playoff game. I mean, that's huge in this division. You know, you don't want to finish second and have to play on the road. So I would go out, get Dalvin Cook, help you win the division, and get on the start your run to the Super Bowl with him in the playoffs, you know, because you know how the playoffs are. You need a running game. Everyone says it. Running game, and defense wins playoff games. And he would be a massive addition. I mean, I can't believe he's honestly available. This is crazy. But wherever he ends up, I think he's going to help that team. Hopefully he goes to a contender to help lift him up even more so we can see his full potential. But I just think the Jets was also a good fit. So we'll see what happens. I mean, anything and everything can happen. He could sign with a non-Super Bowl contender and still lift that team up to be a little bit better. But if I'm hit, I mean, I don't know what he wants to do, but I'm not going to no team that's not going to try to make a playoff run here. So, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think the Jets are a good fit for him. And my final team I think that Dalvin Cook would go to, be a good fit for, would be the Baltimore Ravens. I know they have J.K. Dobbins coming back, but I think this is another team that could use a boost because their division's no joke either. The whole AFC is no joke, as we all know. It's deep. So I think the Ravens would be a good fit. Him and Lamar in the backfield would be absolutely lethal. It would be insane. It kind of takes the pressure off of Lamar to run all the time, but I think it also will help Dalvin Cook with the pressure of Lamar running it, just like the Eagles do with Jalen Hurts, But I think that's a huge fit for him. I mean, this team is battling to try to beat the Bengals in their own division for the playoffs. So I think this team is very good. I think their defense is good. They got OBJ. They got Flowers in the draft. So that offense is going to be explosive. And I think if Dalvin Cook chooses to go to the Ravens, that team, like I said, almost all these teams he goes to that I've mentioned would make them an instant Super Bowl contender. I think it would be massive for any of them in the AFC to go get. I think, but if the Ravens do go out and do this, that offense is going to be one of the better offenses in the NFL. I mean, it already is probably going to be. We'll see. Yet to be seen, but new coordinator and all that. But I think with Dalvin Cook in the backfield, Lamar would be an absolute weapon and just take their offense to another level with all these guys. I mean, I think highly of Dalvin Cook. I think he's a top 5 running back in the NFL. So the fact that he's available is crazy. So if I'm a team, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get him on my team. You're going to win with this guy, so he's going to help your offense in a lot of different ways, catching, running. So I think the Ravens are an absolute fit for him. Like I said, him and Lamar in that backfield would be nasty. And then you also have J.K. Dobbins, who's a powerhouse, so yeah, that offense would definitely be lethal with Dalvin Cook in the backfield. And honestly, I think he might. I like the Bills fit. I like the Miami fit. But the Ravens fit to me is also would be, I think, a perfect fit. So I know there's a lot of good opportunities out there for him. He's going to have his choices of teams. It's going to be whether or not he wants the money. I mean, there's not a lot of money out there right now. The caps are pretty much tapped out. So we'll see what happens. I mean, a lot of different scenarios could come up, So I just think that this is a huge get for somebody. I mean, as an Eagles fan, I wish we could get him, but our running back room is pretty full. But who knows? We might still go out and get him. I mean, I doubt it. Don't see that happening, but it would be awesome, But we'll see what happens, I would imagine he's going to sign somewhere right before training camp starts, so he probably has some time. He'll probably be fielding a lot of calls and figuring it all out, unless some team comes in heavy after him. So I guess in the next month or so, we'll find out where he's going. So, anyways, make sure you like and subscribe. This week and next week, we'll be going through the division winners, ranking where I think they're going to be placed. And first up is the AFC East, which was heavily featured in this video as well. So that division is going to be good. So make sure you like and subscribe, and comment down below where you believe Dalvin will end up. And we'll be putting out more content later this week. So I'll see you then. Thank you.